Technology Screens. We are the makers of the Supreme 12, Supreme Exotic Ambient Light Rejection 15, and the Advanced Ambient Light Rejection 17, along with the Ultranova 17s. All right, so getting the day started. Hold on a minute. Woo. It's getting chilly down here. So hopefully today we get our I'm putting my hoodie on, it's a bit chilly down here. Hopefully today we get our projector today, because yesterday, it was supposed to come yesterday, but it was described that there was no room on a truck for it, and I should be getting it today. Definitely should be getting it today. So we'll get a chance to do that, and since all my orders are done, woohoo, I can start working on my other projects. So this is the last of it. You know, I got my hoodie on because it's always chilly in this part of the house because of all the windows and everything. We're also, today we're going to be doing a paint-on demonstration of the black silver. I love doing that demonstration on the screen because, as I said before, that is the only gray screen I've seen so far, besides all the other ones out there, that when we do the black silver, we do them differently than anybody else. We do them against high-performance screens. We do contrast levels, everything that the other screens don't do. So we'll be playing around with that today. So let's get this started. This is the new paint, which is coated onto my 235.1 screen in there. And then we have my office screen over there. And then that's the test screen we're going to be playing around with over there. So it's a lot to do. All right, so let me start getting my orders ready for my customers. So I'll get my ship out dates recorded. Where are we going to start with this today? Tape, the knife. Start off first what we got going on. All right. So we got 1 quart of black 12. Take this nice power here. Our lids are nice and tight. And let's begin. So I'll record all my ship out dates. So anytime a customer goes, how's my order being processed? Voila. Let's see what we have. It's beautiful day. Up with my Lord and Savior, get the day started. And I praise God for a beautiful day. All right, 1 quart of black. 1 quart of black one in here. Chilly. Cool. The reason why this part of the house in here is a little cooler, because what a lot of people don't realize is that this house has an extension on it. So whoever had the house did some custom work. Well, I know the history about these houses, but they did some custom work to this house. So this house, physically, the kitchen it's not supposed to be here. Like, this is literally not supposed to be here at all. The kitchen, all this, not supposed to be here. The person who owned this house basically added this extension onto the house and then added the deck. So if you go around back, you'll see where the kitchen's actually sitting up on stilts. So apparently the person, there's only 3 houses on this block that are single. And apparently one person owned all 3 of them. Apparently this person passed away and he's long gone, but he owned all 3 houses, and this particular house that I'm living in is basically the one that was his favorite. That's why this house has a little different than the other 3. This one has a giant deck outside, has a huge backyard. My area is gated off, theirs is not. So like I said, pretty interesting about this house. A little bit of history on it, not much, but it got some. All right, 2 quarts of black right here and here. I'll knock these off right here. Actually, this was 2 quarts, and it's supposed to do it the other way around. Supposed to do it this way. Bring it around. A little bit faster. We do it that way. Then we do it that way. Oh, walking down and more. I almost caught my finger on that one. Right, 2 quarts of black. done. Also, too, we got a customer's 100-inch screen we're going to be displaying today. Also, too, anytime I paint a screen from a customer, it's always going to be displayed. What do we have here before we ship it out? We got unicorn. Yes, unicorn. I actually met the people who bought the unicorn. They contacted me on Facebook. We talked for a bit. Pretty nice people, and they're Christians. Awesome. Thank you for your support. Unicorn. There's the label in there. Should have two. That's better. All right, we got 1 quart of haze, dark haze. That is an exotic. Right here, 1 quart. Okay, so set in the boxes next. All right, we have 1 gallon of black. Yeah. Make sure they're all black. Pretty cool. Come on. There we go. Where it is. One quarter black, right? 1 quart black. 1 quart black. Okey-dokey. gallon of Platinum Eclipse. Platinum Eclipse, that'd be you. Here. Okay, cool. Make sure. Notifications are usually my morning people, so when I get up in the morning, I got a bunch of people that I send good morning to. They're just chiming in every morning. I check them on people, see how they're doing, if they're okay, stuff like that, Always good to check up on your friends. Make sure they're okay. If they need anything or something like that, Oh, I would walk down I would walk. Okay, that song stuck in my head. The commercial popped up on my head. Just to breathe out. I don't know the song about heart, just know some of it. Alright, there we go. Done. Every container that goes out is a blessing from God. You're like, that's not true. It is. It is. We got 1 gallon of gold. Let me see. Gold, tight. There we go. 1 gallon of gold. Well, I left my starlight ceiling on. I got to order a projector for the ceiling. See how the ceiling's lit up like that with them stars? So I'm kind of testing the ceiling out to see what projectors. That's a black technology up there. See how they're going to work on the screen. So I ordered 4 projectors. I'm going to mount one in each corner here, here, and here. And we're going to project on the ceiling. And we're going to turn this into a whole entire galaxy, whole universe, right up on the ceiling using the black screen paint. Right now, I'm just doing some tests right now. I know y'all see me in my busy day. Some people think that I don't want to go back to this. I don't like to beat a dead horse to death, but some people think I forgot about the instance that happened last couple of days ago. Just for being sure the fellow, no, as I said before, it's already been taken care of. He'll get the notice pretty soon. He'll get it. Right now, I hired an investigator to track his whereabouts. So, as I said before, we're taking things very seriously. I mean, people want to tamper with my company, then we get lawyers involved now. We're not playing around with you anymore. And if I don't know your whereabouts, I'll pay an investigator to track you down. That's what I'm doing right now. It's costly, but it's worth it in the end. Teach somebody a lesson not to play with us. So, a lot of people don't hear me talking about it anymore. Oh, don't mean it's not happening. It's already being taken care of. Just don't even speak on it too much anymore. But yeah, it's kind of hard to find people. Right, being taken care of. Yep. All right, let me see what we got here. We got gold. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, gold. And I think Probably around the end of next year, before we launch the projection screens, I think I'm going to bring on a legal department for my company. I've been advised to do that, and also too, yeah, so we can start prosecuting some people for basically tampering with our stuff. That's our next stage. Get a couple of lawyers on a retainer, so we can start addressing some of these issues that we've been having. Get this taken care of. All right, this is done, 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 done. Done, 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 done. If you don't hear me talking about it, don't mean I forgot it. I mean, I got it, it's being taken care of. So, end of that. Oh man, I gotta get the rest of my labels in here. We're just about out. All right, let me see what we got going on here. Who is this anyway? What do we got? The side, did he mark him? Got him marked? He's marked already. He's good. Make sure he's good. Got all his fragments are on him. Good. Make sure his fragments are on. All right, what do we got here? We have left, somebody has 1 gallon of dark hazel. Another gallon of dark hazel? We have 2 of these? Wait a minute. All right, this is gold. 1 of these was hazel. Oh, we did have another gallon of dark hazel. Oh, it's right there. What am I doing? I got it right there. Oh, come on, maybe. 1 gallon of dark hazel, 15. And that's it right there. Okay, cool. I know I had to eat it. 2 gallons of that. Somebody would have went and tried another one. Okay, good. That's good, that's good, that's great. You understand, you know? People think, oh. Because the Christians aren't supposed to defend themselves. They have Christian lawyers. People understand that, you know? But I think what's best for us, and I said that wrong, it's Creason Desist, Assistant Creason. It's one of them, but basically it's the order that they send out to you, telling you to chill. And if you don't, then we take it to court and we sue the daylights out of you. And the reason why they send you that first is because it just shows that to the judge that we showed leniency. We did try to contact you. We did try to warn you, and you went ahead and did it anyway. And that gives us a higher. We're gonna win anyway. But it just shows that we did warn you, and you did step over those boundaries, knowing that you weren't given a warning by an attorney. So, yeah. So that you get that before they take you to court and they clean your clock. You know, but this, you know, recorded himself. Still can't believe he did that. He recorded himself doing it and then deleted the video. Whoa. Okay, but I thought it was a sweet now. Here's the video. People need to delete videos that have a substantial amount of evidence against them. Now, as for the Instagram post, he can remove that if he wants. It doesn't make a difference. It's been recorded. So it's been recorded, it's been documented. When the individual made the Instagram post posing as me, that's identity theft. Now, that's basically now is a different area of lawsuits and maybe some prison time because you are basically posing as me. You're using an unauthorized, a copyrighted label that you're using on the Instagram account when you made it. Your IP address was traced. Keep in mind that, yeah, I had somebody trace the IP address. So all that information right there, including how you went in and you're talking to customers or potential customers and posing that's me, is considered to be identity theft now. And keep in mind, you're not only going to have police involved in this, but once you start tampering with people's copyrights and patents, FBI gets involved in that. So like I said, some things, reality is going to get really, really interesting for some people. And I said to this, I have sued a few people. I sued a few people in civil lawsuits before. And I'll tell you what happens, man. It's not a pretty sight. Once you get that judgment, once the court rewards you that judgment, you got a certain amount of time to pay a certain amount of money, whatever the lawyers are going to ask for. They're going to ask for, like, okay, maybe they want $5,000 a week. 2,000, 500, whatever it may be, but they want that money. And then what they'll do is, as I said before, is they'll go on and garnish your income tax. You don't get income tax anymore. That gets garnished automatically from the door. And then say if the person feels that he's not getting the money fast enough, then they can go in and they can basically ask for the sheriff's department to get involved to start auctioning off anything that the items that the person may have of worth. So they'll have somebody go through the house and they'll estimate what they have of worth, cars, any real estate, collectibles, stuff like that. They'll take all that and they'll basically price it and sell it off. They'll auction everything off. So like I said, it gets pretty nasty. And keep in mind, if you're married, then that stretches over to your spouse. And then on top of that, even if you're not able to pay the $250,000 or $500,000 lawsuits that they may place on top of you, you have liens against you now, which means that stops you from getting anything at all, like a house or a car or anything, because you have this massive lien that's going to destroy your credit and everything right from the door. So it's pretty nasty. I had somebody with a $50,000 lawsuit because they basically walked over on my property and they basically pushed me up against a fence. And I could have struck the person, but if I had struck them, then I'd probably be in more trouble than them because keep in mind, well, and you don't know that, a lot of people know that, I'm certified. So it's a little different on that story. So anyway, guy struck me, I hit the gate, my back got a little damaged, sued him for 50 grand, took his house. That's why I tell people, be real careful when you're out there and you get into a fist fight with somebody. Be really, really careful about that. Because if that person knows the law and you strike them first, even if they provoked you and they might have provoked you, said something nasty to them, and you lay a hand on you, you're the first person that countered that strike, yeah, they could get you for, they could sue you in civil court for up to 50 grand. Same thing like people are walking around with them dogs. You have a dog you're walking around with, doesn't have a leash, your dog bites somebody and he breaks that skin. They can go down and they can basically sue you for $50,000. Small claims court over a dog. And some people, dogs are considered to be family members. So, you might want to put that leash on and get the paperwork done, make sure they got all their shots and everything. Because you don't want to know the procedure or what they got to do when they got to check for rabies for a dog. It's not pretty. So you don't want to go through that crap. Make sure you get your paperwork and all that stuff up for yourself. Cover yourself. I remember before, now keep in mind, it's funny, before companies like LegalZoom and some of these other companies that came out, these attorneys that'll basically do a lot of the paperwork for you. Before they came out, it was impossible. It was not impossible to get a copyright. It was very, very, very expensive to get a copyright. Very expensive because lawyers would charge you insane fees just to do the paperwork and all that. So it was pretty expensive to get a copyright back in the 80s and 90s and so forth. You know what I mean? Now you go to LegalZoom, you can get a copyright for like $180, $135. You get a copyright for it. You know what I mean? It's cheaper if you do it yourself. Then it's cheaper, you know what I mean? But if you pay for an attorney to do it, they do all the filing, work and all that stuff like that, submit it to U.S. government and stuff like that. And they have to do the search. Because keep in mind, if someone comes back, they're going to do a search on it to see how many people, if anybody came up with the idea before you did or the name before you did. And if they did, it comes back and they deny your claim and says, well, this is what you're going to do. Just going through, we do this all over again. And they'll do the search again over and over and over again until it comes back with nobody owning it. We took ours out. I did the artwork and everything and drew what I want. Actually, I took the artwork from a site that allows you to have free clip art. So I went to unlicensed, uncopyrighted clip art, and that's where I got my cube from. And I designed my work from there and went on to Pisces or whatever it's called, did my artwork and designed it and submitted it to LegalZoom and paid them the $180 because I was not doing the paperwork. And they went out and they did the search. It came back as nothing, and that's how I got it. So, it just pays to get it done. Or, if you don't have the $180, there's another way you can go about doing it. Do not do the poor man copyright. Don't do that. But here's the thing. It's kind of a bit of a gray area. The poor man copyright was basically you would write something and have it mailed back to yourself. Don't do that. You take somebody to court, it will not hold up in court. You're not going to get away with that one. There's other stuff that artists do. Sometimes artists will actually write their name into the artwork and sign it, whatever. That may bust a person for doing something. That's pretty much about it. But suing them, you're not going to get that either. It has to be a registered copyright in order to sue somebody. So, you know, yeah, that's the 4-man copyright. You don't want that. All right, let's see what we got here for this person right here. We have. Oh yeah, I forgot this question. What am I doing? But like I said, I did try to, and you know, on my behalf, some people may be angry about what I'm doing. Hey, it's what I do. I have to do this. Take my company. But I gave the person every opportunity, and I did. Gave him every opportunity in the book. I even said I was not going to go after him. All he had to do was mind his own business, and he couldn't do it. So, you know, it happens, it happens. All right, we're done there. Like I said, all that effort to try to destroy my company and my product so simple. For the fellow who got the projector, this is yours, coming up right now. Here we got your projector in here. That's all ready to go. And we have your, this is your screen and 3 lights. Which are yours also. Right there. Now, for those of you on Facebook that will be viewing this video also too today, you're quite aware of the problems we have with the individual who was basically trying to destroy my company. So you're quite aware of basically when you see this video, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So we already decided to go forth and seek a lawyer and get it taken care of. So. This is to my Facebook followers. Sometimes they be like, what are you talking about? I know this is what we were talking about today. This is what went on. So we're doing. As for, and you know, I find it interesting. I'm not going to beat a dead horse to death, but I find it interesting. Where's my knife at? I find it interesting how they call, well, that individual calls us a scammer when yet we found a video of him making a product that he was giving away for free, giving the product away for free, and then it matched to a product he was selling to his customers. That video was pulled too. We pulled that video also too, but we got copies of that one too. As a matter of fact, I did a video on it. All that time, customers were buying a product that used to give away for free, and it matched the product perfectly. Without flaw, matched it perfectly. So you scammed your customers out of a lot of money. And it's something that could have been made with just black and white paint. She made it seem like it was more than what it was, and it wasn't. It was black and white paint. Yet, I have to say this. I find it interesting to that anything he develops, he does not put that black and white mixture next to his product, knowing that it's going to match. All right, what we got going on here? You know. We got this. He got a 9x12. This is going to be a big freaking screen, a 9x12. If you're interested in getting this material right here, this is the name of the company that we're sending out to the fellow who ordered for his screen. This is seamless. This is a really good canvas material. Keep in mind when you paint these things, you want to make sure you prime the surface first. 2 coats you want to add on to it because you want to make sure that the surface absorbs as much as possible. You don't want to apply a product onto it because you're going to have uneven areas where the screen is going to absorb more or less. So you want to make sure if you're doing canvas or any kind of material, paint the surface first, paint it the second time, allow it to absorb as much paint as possible, then you apply our coating onto it. Make sure I'm going to do this in here. Put this paint here. All right, we got it. It'll fit. Okay, but make sure you got the room. I don't go around I don't go around making fake Instagram accounts about other people or none of that nonsense. That's childish. You don't do stuff like that. You gotta grow up. When you do stuff like that, that reflects back on you, reflects back on your company, reflects how you do business. Because people will look at it in a way as, if you're going to do that person that way, who's to say you're going to do me that way if you get ticked off or upset with me? You can't do that. You can't practice business that way. And you can say it's a hobby, but it's not a hobby. Anytime you make a transaction involving money, it's not a hobby anymore. Not the time he puts into it. Let me see. How can I put this in here? We got the room for this. We did this already before. We did the pre-pack on this already. Let's do it this way. Other than the way I had it in here, didn't we? Here. I had this in here. How I put it in. Oh, perfect. I knew I had a way of getting this in here. We've done this already today already. We had everything fitted just like so much fit in here. Okay. That's perfect. Yeah. The monkey. And that. That's it. Woo! Man. Sure that goes in. Nice and tight. That song is stuck in my head now. Been here for a while. Just to make sure, that's no shorts. Wonder why? Takes a while for you to get your packages open. This is why. But I say, better safe than sorry. Wouldn't you agree? I'm sure you would agree. All right. Okay. Let me put this over here. You got a bunch of orders on this side over here. All right. And this fellow over here, he has the screen and he has the paint. His screen won't be until later on in the day, so I got time for that to come in later on in the day. It takes only a few minutes for me to blast it with the coating. Done. Let it dry. Throw it up here to the demonstration off of it. Put it in a box. We're all finished. He's got a gallon. That's here. Today, let's see, what's the day? Today is Wednesday, right? So Wednesday, Thursday. Wednesday and Thursday, last 2 days for orders. Last 2 days. We got a few people that dropped in those orders right here, which I got to fill up right now. These orders right here are the splashovers. People got the orders in before a ship out date. That's what's left. So we only got 1, 2, 3. We got 5 containers. That's it. That's all that's left. Those are already reserved. Oh, here's a gallon. There's a gallon of black one. It used to be. Oh, I would. Done. Woohoo! See, you got hit with 2 back-to-back snowstorms. Containers came in late, ran out of ink for the printer upstairs twice. Man, I had all them orders up there, and I sat there and said, "We got y'all taken care of. Y'all gonna be taken care of. The orders are gonna be out the door. We got y'all taken care of." And every single time as I come on camera, no matter snowstorm or whatever, God always blesses us to get your orders taken care of and get them out the door. They lost my containers one time. They literally lost my containers. I had to order another pair of containers. Now, when we do the black silver, we're going to put challenges all over the black silvers when we do those demonstrations, because I like that. That's a great screen that can pull contrast level. We're going to do challenges on 11 screen certified demonstrations, star field demonstrations outside. I'm actually, since the weather's getting a little better, well, it's not better, but still there's no snow on the deck now because we got rain out here. We'll do some outside demonstrations on that projector too. Not projector, but screen. And we'll put that challenge against any gray screen paint. Because before we got into gray screens, and like I said, I had no interest in it. I was kind of happy working with black technology, and I really like working with black technology. I like the color ones too. But as I said before, when we do black screens, we always are ones that are always asked to do, let's see the white levels. Let's see the white levels. Let's see the white levels. Everybody asks us for that. But when it comes to gray screens, y'all don't do contrast. I'm going to ask y'all to sundown. Let me see some contrast demonstrations off. Let me see a star field, any of the OLED demonstrations. Let me see it done in a fully lit environment. Let's see you compare that screen against other gray screens and see how it reacts. No demonstrations are done. So, since y'all weren't doing it, we did it. We came up with the black silver. We did demonstrations of that screen, displaying on other darker screens next to it, lighter screens. Doing star field demonstrations, color demonstrations, stuff that y'all weren't doing with your gray screens because you were too busy taking your screen, stick them in a dark environment, hit it with a high-end projector, and say, voila. You want to challenge us on what we do when it comes to our black technology and show you white levels? Well, where's some star field demonstrations? I got a screen upstairs right now that's jet black. You already know that bad boy. I can open up my windows and let all that light hit that screen and show you a star field demonstration in a fully lit environment. But yet we don't see that from anybody else. Now, I've seen people, when they show up their screens, they will show little screens outside, little square inch screens. We do 180 inch screens outside. We don't do a small little piece of screen, because when you do a small little screen, well, I told you what happens when they do the small little screen outside. They go, look, I have the same demonstration. I'm doing the same thing he's doing. When you do a small little screen, say if I were to put a screen in that little tiny square right there at 4,300 lumens. That means at 4,300 lumens, all those pixels are being pushed into that little tiny area right there, which means those pixels are tighter together, which means the image is going to be sharper and brighter. And depending on the size of the screen, will also depend on how far the projector is sitting back. That's why when we do the sample screen, small sample screen, we push the projector all the way back, knowing that it has to fight even harder to make contact to the screen. And the screen is overlapping, which you see hitting the walls and ceiling, which means the pixels are actually pushed beyond max. That's why we do those. We pull the projectors back and we show the images from afar. We never fit it to size. So I watch when they do the outside demonstrations, they'll get a small little screen, push the projector right up close to it, so it's very little distance throw. And then what they'll do is, because the images are pushed tight together, the pixels will be much more tighter, much more confined to give you a sharper and brighter image. Now, see, that's the easy way of doing it. So try that on a 180-inch screen outside at 21 feet back at 6:57 in the afternoon and watch Star Wars, a dogfight in outer space at a 190-degree viewing angle. So this year, we get a chance to push the bar, because this year I'm going to be putting out in the backyard. One of the screens is actually around 300 to 400 inches for the backyard. And then we're going to do some massive, giant inflatable blow-up screens. Actually, it's a pretty big one I've been looking at. And it's going to be pretty big. It's going to look like, it's pretty much going to be, when this screen blows up, it's pretty much, I can go from my balcony. I can probably watch it from my deck outside, how big this thing is going to be. But we have to do them on larger scales like that, because we have companies not interested in the technology. All right, this is this guy right here. We're good. That's his right here. He's done. All we got to do is wait for his surface to get here for him, for his screen, and he's finished up. He's done. I'll put him right over there. Ouch, don't be EVGs out of myself. And then over here, we have this projector has to go out. Has to be done. Yeah. Gotta really push that bar. Gotta push that bar. Gotta. You know all those tricks. new one out? We got a new one right here. There we go. Got a new one. All right, your projector is good to go. Let's get you where you need to know. Over here, this is perfect. All right, just got one thing, gotta wait for that one screen to come through, and that's finished for that one. We're all done here. Demonstration doing the black silver today. I'm gonna knock all that out and one hit the good. So what we're gonna do is we'll do that in the next video because I can't make this a part of this video. Put this over here. All right. I'm gonna come over here and pull my screen out. Look at that. That's the screen I painted last night. That screen's long. 235.1s are freaking long freaking screens. All right, so I'm pulling off my whatchamacallit. Do this in here. I did add more and more, you know, and more. I always like to add a little extra in there. Boom, shakalaka. And see where I pat the bar in the middle? It lays nice and flat. There's no bubble sticking out in the front because I had that padded at all. Just got to get the tape that's actually under your frame now. That's what you got to remove because you tucked it under the frame. Well, that's easy to pull out. Like I said, it's got to get a grip on it, that's all. It just pulls along with it. A little bit tedious, but like I said, it peels off. This ground, let me put one of the light at the bottom. Let me see if it's right under. There we go. I'm just trying to get right under that frame. Right under the frame. There we go. So the harder to do when you're doing it from this point of view. Down there it's a little easier to do. Let's look under my frame. Do it. Good. Good start. Let me see. Oh, I tucked it really good under the frame. Not worried about it come out. There we go. There we go. There you go. A couple areas in there that stuck in there really good, which is good because that means no paint got in there at all. That's a good sign. Put that in there. I was going to do this last night because this is a bit tedious to do. It's easier when you're painting your wall, but I'm doing this on velvet. Let's see. There we go. You know what? This is going to take a while, like I said, because I got a lot of frame to pull off. Let me end this video here, come back in, because this is a shipping update video. I don't want to add too much to it. I'll be back in. Oh, all your orders are done. All right.